Hey
guys.
y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans.
Yes,
I'm
welcome.
Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as 2Liz4U, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
That's a mouthful. Anyway, I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry. On Instagram, I'm usually posting as Knitting in Our Jeans, and I will probably be posting more because the boat is in the water.
Yes, it is.
Which is one of the reasons why I didn't get as much knitting done this week.
Yes.
The other is I did so much last week, the hands hurt. And I don't know whether the hands hurt because I was also working on the boat or because I knitted up a storm. So I didn't work at all on my traveling sweater, that travel circle sweater. And actually I want to do some cross stitch this week. But anyway, we did get some knitting done. We have also been on the boat.
Yes.
Since Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday. I didn't go Saturday. Ricci went Saturday, Sunday, and I didn't go today. So it's like an every other day schedule for me because I'm tired the next day. I'm sure I will build up my capacity. But the knee is certainly giving me problems in terms of getting around. So it takes a little more energy to move around the boat with the knee that's going. But we've been out, and it's really nice to have it back on the water. So anyway, my hair is down, so you can see what 3 months without being able to get a haircut has done for me. And we can leave it down until I start having heat stroke because it's really hot under here. I have a problem that I understand that few women my age have, which is a boatload of hair. There's just a lot of it. Thank you. You know, that's really good. But in the summer, when it's heading up to 90, it's kind of hot. And the other thing is that you can see the difference in texture between the dyed sections and the undyed sections. The dyed sections seem to be better behaved. I think because the outside is sealed a little bit.
Well, I was going to say, because it strips some of that, the dye will strip some of that texture, and then it'll seal the cuticle more, which will...
So I have to decide whether I want to go back to dyeing my hair or not. We have to think on that. I get my hair cut in the city. I'm sure we've talked about this before with a guy who I've known for 20-some years.
At least 15 years.
Oh, you had your hair cut with him when you were 12.
I remember 15. But
12.
Because he wasn't the one who did my first major cut. That was Antoinette.
I understand that. Well, but I was seeing him before.
So
I was seeing him before that.
Right.
So anyway, I can't take this now. Anyway, so my hair at the moment is constantly drawn back and into this little flippy bun. And if it's under my sailing hat, and that works out pretty well. I don't know whether I'm going to get it cut short. I think I will have a conference with Hervé. Every time I get it cut short now, within an hour and a half, I'm sorry I did it. But, so anyway, I'm sure all of us are having these internal discussions. Mine just have to be external about what are you going to do with your hair once you can get back to the hair salon. So New York is opening up. They're at level 2
Phase 2 is starting today.
Today.
We're also recording this, on Monday. We did go, as we said, we went sailing yesterday, and Mom declared at dinner that she was too tired.
I was.
And then we went inside, we went to the living room to watch a show that she really wanted to watch, and she fell asleep.
Yes. I
just
slid right down on the sofa and fell asleep and slept through that program and the next one.
Yeah.
The good news is that they're repeating them tonight.
Oh, good.
Yes. So, anyway, I have, this doesn't look good, so we'll take these out. I am finishing, or I plan to finish my second sleeve on my descending contours.
Today?
Probably today. Here's the first sleeve, and with that tubular cast off, because you had to go from a 2x2 to a 1x1 rib and then do the sewn cast off, it expanded it, and I was not thrilled. So I wrote the designer, and she said, oh, you can use any cast bind off you want. I went, okay. So this is going to be using a modified very stretchy cast off. What I do is on the knit stitches, I do the stretchy part, and on the purl stitches, I do not. I do a regular stitch over or SSK
Mm-hmm.
to bind off those stitches. And I find that it gives me room, but it doesn't bell it out like the other one, like the other sleeve. So,
or like if you were to do all stretchy.
Right, all stretchy, it bells out like the tubular did on the other sleeve. So now that I've gotten the okay from the designer, I'm going to be able to go like a house of fire. I've also switched needles. I was using, I think they're downstairs. I was using hexagonal needles, and the catch between the join and the needle was catching this yarn. I think because the length of the cord was so short that I didn't have enough play in it. So I have switched to my Likes, yes. And these are the interchangeable ones. So
the long ones?
Yes. And this is a set of tips that I bought to go with that kit I got at winning the Long Island Yarn Crawl. The grand prize. That set starts with a 7. I have bought size 5s and size 6s. And the only other size I might buy is a 4, but I've got lots of 4s on the permanent fixed. So now that I've got this on needles that have a very easy, there's no catching at all there.
Yeah.
I should be able to go like a house fire. So, and the other thing is she answered my question about what's going on with the increases both in the front and the back. From the pictures that she'd given the test knitters, there was no indication that there's a change in the patterning down here. There is down here a pearl panel in the front and the back that comes in as you do your increases. And I wrote her, I said, are you sure this is what you mean to say? And she sent me back finally a picture of hers. And I went, okay, fine. It just the way, we didn't have a picture.
Yeah.
We didn't have a picture. And since I'm a test knitter, no idea whether what she was writing was what she meant.
Right.
So we have now gotten that settled. If you notice at the top, I've got 3 rows that are not connected. This will connect them so that when I join in the round, it's not twisted. And yes, I can get look at that. I can get my head through that, not a problem.
Good.
Yes, so this will be finished. This sleeve will be finished, if not today, then tomorrow. So that's great. And then I hope to finish the whole sweater by the time I see you next. So that'll be nice. Just because I hate having deadlines. I've always hated having deadlines. And my usual game is to play, here it's on your desk. So whenever I was a co-writer or had a project to do at work, I would do my part as fast as I could, as well as I could, but quickly, so I could put it on somebody else's desk and say, all right, now it's your part. And then it's off my list. I don't have anything else to do with it. So that's the game I'm playing with this test knit. And I love it, except it's going to be 90 degrees today.
Yeah.
So it's certainly my glasses keep going to my face. Yes, these are not my normal glasses. These are glasses from a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. My regular glasses had a huge scratch here. I had an eye appointment the beginning of June. Yes. And they have taken the glasses, or I gave them the glasses, and they're going to have a new lens put in so that that scratch will be non-existent. There's also apparently a chip in this one, but it's very tiny. And we decided to wait. It wasn't really in my line of vision, so that's waiting.
Not like the scratch where you kept on going, there's a smudge on my glasses. And I was like, no, Mom, I don't think that's a smudge. And you were like, no, it's a smudge. And then I was like, okay. And we pulled over, and I was like, Mom, I'm pretty sure it's a gouge.
It's a gouge.
And she was like, how did I do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. It must have been something on the cleaning cloth is all I can figure. Anyway, so my prescription seems to be getting slightly better each year, or slightly less nearsighted. No, less nearsighted.
Oh.
So there was a positive change in the left eye, but it was so small that we decided not to do anything with it. So Yes, I've been to the eye doctor. I was his first patient of the day. They had a circular route through the office, so because I was having optic nerve tests,
Yeah.
I went
They
around
have
that
you
office
do like
3
three
times.
or 4 tests while you're there.
Yeah, but they didn't do it in this
In order.
They did it in, so I was roaming the office. Got a lot of exercise in. I'm also doing a lot of walking. So today, even though I woke up incredibly sore all over from, I guess, fiddling with the bimini and doing all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I did 4/10 of a mile, which is around the block once. So did that. So, and that's helping a lot with my breathing. So I'm not as breathy as I have been, which is good. I was going to get my bicycle out, but it was already up to 80 at 8 a.m. And I said, you know.
There's a point at which...
And it was humid. And I was already dripping. And I said, I'm not doing that today. If I can get up earlier tomorrow, then I will go for my walk around the block, and then I'll get my bicycle out. Otherwise, I would have gone twice around the block. Anyway.
It's just so hard when at 8 a.m. it's 80 degrees out.
Yeah, this is not a crisis. This is obviously first world problems. And could we fix it? Of course we could. We could go out on the boat. We could hang off the side of the boat. We saw people yesterday that were on their floaties.
Yep.
And, that may be the next thing I buy is a huge floaty. And I mean a floaty, which is like a lounge with a cover, an awning over top. They are hysterical.
Oh, I would pay good money to see you put that up and then Dad's reaction to that.
Oh, yeah. Well, can't you see that in Cold Spring Harbor?
He'd lose his mind.
I think it would be so fun.
It'd be fun, but
and it would be cool because you'd be cooled off from the water underneath.
Losing his mind.
I bet eventually he'd join me out there.
I mean, I think it would take a little bit.
I don't know.
I don't
He's
know.
joined me now on the paddleboard, so.
Only once.
Yeah, but still,
I know.
So anyway, so the boat's in the water. It's only been in since Wednesday, and we've already got, Richard's gone out one more day than I have. So I've gone out 3, he's gone out 4. I am now driving the boat when he does the pickup.
Yeah, because your knees it's not worth it.
I can't get up.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. So it's fine. I can drive the boat, and he's able to do the pickup. And he hasn't been shouting back instructions either. No. So we're fine. We're fine. So
we're very lucky that we have said boat because it allows us during these pandemic times to be able to go outside and enjoy the weather as it is, without having to worry about masks and people and
even if we were next door to a boat, these boats are 8 to 10 feet wide. So you take the center and the next center, and you're still 9 feet as long as you don't go right up next to each other, like hanging over the lifelines.
Yeah.
We don't normally do that. I think your father was going to check to see if the boat club was going to do something for the 4th of July.
Right.
We don't even know if there's going to be fireworks.
Yeah.
Who knows? So, it's nice out on the water. During the week, there's almost nobody out there. Richie was explaining to me that many people are working from home, not just being home. I went, oh, yeah, right. I'm telling you, it was a really good time to retire. Not only for the pandemic, but for the knees. Because it would be hard to get out of the car and walk to my office at this point. I have called to see about setting out a date for fixing my knee. And they're going to give me a call back. So we'll see. I have a feeling it will be September. I'm hoping it'll be September. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
The one thing I haven't done is I haven't worked on writing up the homework sheet for the Big Apple Knitting Guild. And I want to try to do that. So
that's still October, right?
That's still October. Okay. So I want to do that. The Annapolis Boat Show is a go at the moment for October. So we'll see. I'd like to go just to be able to go look at those catamarans again.
But if you're avoiding large spaces...
Well, I understand that, and I know which one I want. So.
I know. So it's not... And
it really is a phone
not
call.
In the place to...
He's not ready to point
He's not ready to do it.
No.
So there's no point in even just sitting in it.
That we don't have to take the boat back to Sewanee. We can just drive it up to Newport and put it on the for sale block. It just doesn't fit me anymore. It's too difficult.
It is.
It is. It's just too difficult. So anyway. enough of that.
He laughs, but he and I are both long people.
Right.
And
I'm not.
well, and so the three of us going out on the boat is tight because he and I are both quite long. So
Yes.
having enough room for the two of us even is sometimes a difficulty.
Yes.
Which is very amusing to most people who know us. Because I can fit in very small spaces because I like being cozy. My father does not like being cozy. My father likes space.
Yes.
So
he's used to it.
I am totally behind this catamaran idea, but I do not think father is ready for this.
I think he will be for the fall. I think he will be.
All right. Well,
So
we'll see.
So anyway, Descending Contours is moving along, and hopefully I can show you a finished sweater next week.
That would be lovely.
That
well,
would be
I
great.
finished something today, this morning.
Ta-da!
I finished my Vellichor. And it fits. It looks really cute. Let me make sure I'm putting it on the right way. I am.
Good. She's got a stitch marker marking the back.
Yeah, I'm going to put a tag in it probably. So, it looks really cute.
It is cute.
I think with some skinny jeans or my tan pants.
Yes. Although it goes with
It
those
goes
colors
with these.
quite well.
Yeah. So, I really like it. It was really fun knit. I am going to throw it in the washer and dryer and probably block out the sleeves a little bit. I just want it to kind of relax into itself. This did use almost. I have 6 grams of this main color left, and I have 80 grams of the contrasting color left, and I had 2 balls of each.
Oh,
so I had
okay.
200 grams of each, which comes out to be about 1,200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. I made the second size, which I can't remember what that is. I think it's about a 40, maybe a 38.
No idea.
Um,
Getting hot up here.
it's.
I think we ought to put that down to 1 degree or 2, maybe 2 degrees.
But yeah, so that's the Vellichor is done. I'm very excited about it, and I don't think the contrast color pooled or flashed too much to make it,
No.
too busy for any sort of work or.
The pooling doesn't bother me anyway.
Right. Oh, okay. So the second size is a 44. I probably could have gone down a size, but I still think it'll be a really nice addition to my repertoire of things I have. But yeah. So since I no longer have this as my intentional knitting,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a loss of what my next, because I have, so I was doing this for the 100-day art project thing, to work on something intentionally for 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is, do I start something new and try and finish that in the next, I think it's about 20 days?
Uh-huh.
Or do I pick up a whip, say, the Artichoke French?
I think the artichoke. I vote for the Artichoke French. Absolutely.
And finally get this working. So I guess that answered that.
I think. I mean, we've only been talking about.
I know, I love
that.
it, and it's so pretty.
It's so pretty, and you've had it for
I've had
a while.
It's been on the needle since 2016, I think, or 2015. It's been great.
While.
Yeah, a long time. So I will figure out what my intentional, amount a day will be.
Okay.
But I think it'd be nice to at least have the body started by that time, but I think I can do it. These are
lovely.
gonna be great. I mean, look at these sleeves. Just look at these sleeves. I mean, I'm already almost at my elbow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
It's just so lovely.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So, okay. That's all that question. But other than that, I have been working on I finished the sleeves of my test knit. So I know last week I showed you that I had done the color work, but I bound them off and I have them stuck inside the sweater.
Why do you do that?
So that they don't flop around on me.
Alright.
So I have one sleeve, I have the other one, I just don't feel like undoing the tucking I've done. So
it does help when you're working on the body.
yeah. So now I've also moved the body to a pretty short needle, so that I can get around the circumference of it easily and quickly. I'm about 6 inches in.
There's a ruler here
There's a ruler here somewhere. We look for it every time.
We do, and then we
move it.
Yes.
We move it every time.
And we say, oh, there it is. It's right behind the computer.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. You're right. So it is.
No,
it's
4
like
inches. 4.5.
4.5.
Okay.
It's 4.5 inches. There is a slight increase that happens about every 2 inches, or 2 or 3 inches. So I've got, I think, a total of, I've done one, I think I do 3 more.
Okay.
And then it's knit till you're happy, or knit until you hit 12 inches, and then there's some color work at the bottom, and then a ribbing.
Very nice.
So maybe I will be up to the color work by this time next week.
Very cool.
Or by the time we talk next week. Maybe
Very
not
cool.
this exact
Very cool.
moment.
So I blocked my Recoletta,
Mm-hmm.
and it is ready to be worn on a cold day. I love the neckline.
It looks really good,
I'm
Mom.
very pleased. I'm very happy to have made it a pullover instead of a cardigan.
It's really nice.
And I have made it nice and long for me. So that is ready.
Hold on. There was something. Is that
It's
just a
long
pulled
stitch.
stitch?
It's a
Okay.
pulled stitch.
It looked like it was a dropped one, so I wanted to make sure.
There it goes.
Okay.
So. So now it's getting warm, and I'm not wearing these sweaters.
Right.
So what I have are the 2-gallon Ziplocs.
Mm.
And I will be putting my sweaters in the 2-gallon Ziplocs. I squeeze out the air, and I put as many sweaters in a 2-gallon Ziploc as I can, and store them in my drawers. And then I don't have to worry about moths in my drawers. I bought some
Lavender
seed, and it's around here somewhere.
Mm.
And I had bags too.
The bags are over there.
The bags are over there? No, those are the Ziplocs.
Oh.
I bought little tiny net bags.
Oh.
And I don't know where those are.
I don't know either.
And I don't know where the lavender is either. It's in this room someplace. So meanwhile, the Ziploc bags, we know exactly where they are, and the sweaters will go in that, and then it will be ready to wait until fall, when we have to wear these things again. And the other thing that I still have is my Varna.
Yes, the collar that you were going to redo.
So here's this and here's this. And if I can finish that sweater, this is next on the needles to finish the collar. So I have that all ready to go.
Good.
And then,
there's more. Oh, yes, this.
The My Boy Lollipop.
Yes.
I did my swatch. Now, I know it's not as large as the swatches she made. But
I don't always
is
make very large swatches.
a decent swatch. And this is on a size 4 likey, one of my fixed likies. And I believe I bought it from Felicia. So.
The likey?
This.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
See, not all my swatches are huge. This is my little swatch.
This is mine. And we have figured out that with...
The gauge you got was a 6.5 stitches to the inch.
And fingering.
Yeah. So the suggestion is to choose a size at least 2 inches less than your actual bust measurement so that it's worn with 2 inches of negative ease. You decided you wanted to go with a 37, that meant?
Yes.
Which means that the full bust stitch count should be about 240. And then I checked for the
increased sizes that she put out.
Separating the sleeves from the body section, and there's a size that has exactly 240 stitches in it. So we don't even have to do any little machinations. Yep. So it's going to be the 48.
Yes. Because this is written
up to a 54.
For DK.
Yes.
It's written for DK.
So the gauge... The gauge
fingering.
she suggests is 5 stitches or 5 stitches to the inch. So with that extra stitch and a half, that really does add a lot of fabric. A lot of people don't think about that, but that is something that's why when you do gauge swatches, you have to make sure that you like what you're doing, also that you know exactly what your stitch count is, because, I mean, the difference between 5 and the 6.5 is a full, 10 inches, or 12, really. So,
and they're using a size 7 needle, or suggested as a size 7 needle. I'm using a 4. It's quite possible that with the size 7 needle, I would get the same stitch count, but it would be open and airy.
Yes.
Not a sweater I would like. So we have this once I finish the collar on the Varna.
Yes.
Okay, so we have that. That's going to stay probably up here.
Okay.
And then the pom-pom.
Yes.
And what else?
I think that's about it. I'm just... As we all discussed when this whole pandemic situation was, started, or, towards the middle beginning of it. I don't know how to describe this whole situation because it's not over yet. I have been put on furlough. I still have not returned to work. I have learned about myself that about 2 months of self-directed study is about all I can take.
I'm doing quite fine.
See, but that's retirement. There's a bit of a different mindset that I think comes with retirement versus like furlough.
I don't know. I have been off every summer.
See, I've realized that right about now I'm like, okay, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could do this, or I could do that. But I don't have the same focus as I did during the first month and a half. Of, okay, I should do this. Let's do this now.
How about you've been redoing your apartment? I
have been. I finally put up the giant frame blocking board. Oh, I need to get picture hanging stuff from Dad before I head home.
Are you staying for dinner?
No, because I want to do my workout at home before I eat dinner. And it's just easier to do my workout at home.
That's fine.
I know. It's fine. Dad just... It's very funny. Dad's like, you have your own place, go home. But then he's like, are you coming back? Where'd you go?
He'd be happy for you to leave for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, well. I would like to get some cross stitch done, and I'd like to get more knitting done.
I do want to work on my cross stitch this week. So I can finish that contract sweater.
The test knit.
Then I can take some time to work on my counted cross stitch, which will be nice and relaxing, and it's moving along, and I'm quite pleased that I'm doing a combination of parking and using it all up. So, it's whatever fits the moment.
Whatever works for you. Exactly. As long as you get stuff done.
Exactly. And I haven't been able, and then I've been reading. I have the Kindle Unlimited. So I can read untold numbers of books for $9 a month. Now, it's not their bestsellers, and I certainly am still buying a few of the books that I'm following in a sequence, but I can power through my cozy mysteries, which not everybody likes. I got that. But they have a lot of different genres, and I'm more than happy to pay $9 because then when we're away from the house or on a boat or when we went to Antigua and all this other kind of stuff, I can just keep getting more books and it's never ending, which is great. So I have been doing some reading, and because I've been tired on the days we're not sailing. So sailing takes some time. I really can't knit when we're sailing in the afternoon. I can knit once we're at an anchor or at a mooring and, before dinner or Actually, not while I'm cooking dinner because I have to watch the stove. The stove does not necessarily stay lit. My burners are fine, and my oven is not that reliable. So I often am checking on it to make sure it's still alight. We have a full propane tank, so we got that filled. So we're good for that. But I have to kind of be there to watch it. These are open flames. And since we're on a boat, there is a breeze because you do have to have air ventilation, otherwise you'll smother yourself. And I want to make sure that things are not blowing onto the open flame. So after dinner, and I get that cleaned up, then I have more time than you can think of to sit and knit, which is great, but not on these afternoon sales.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I've been napping. I'm really becoming the queen of napping.
You're becoming a pro napper, Olympic level napper.
Before you showed up, I was an excellent napper.
You have always been an excellent napper.
I am quite an accomplished napper. Let's see if I can get this under control. So anyway, the good news is that I'm napping because I'm doing things.
Yes.
I mean, I am up and out early in the morning. And the other thing is I'm not sleeping more than about 4 hours at a shot because of my allergies, really, that I'll wake up. And up until now, I've had the rule, that if I wake up and I'm not yet clogged, I should get up because clogging and is coming. Mm-hmm. Or if I'm slightly clogged, get up now and you might be able to, have everything drained. We'll have to see how we're going to deal with this. It may be that I have to go to bed by, 11:30, so I can wake up 4 hours later at 3:30, be up for an hour and a half, and then go back to sleep. I don't know. It's a work in progress.
Yes.
I'm just really glad that I quit work before I couldn't sleep more than 4 hours because that was really tough.
Yeah.
While I was working, I could go to work and work with 5 hours of sleep, but not 4. Anyway, I'm sure you're thrilled. Pompom came this week, and
it's awesome.
It is. Now, a lot of these sweaters are crop tops, but obviously, as knitters, we can add length to anything.
And they do say that you can make them longer.
Of course you can.
So,
there are no knitting police.
There are none.
Except when you are doing a test knit.
Yes,
and you're
but
trying to follow the directions.
That's not so much knitting police. That is because you are testing a pattern to ensure to ensure other people's success rate.
Right. So I have not kept up with my design class because of the test knit. So when the test knit is done and I finish maybe my Varna, then I'm going to go back to my design class and work on the sweater that I have uppermost in my mind to create. And then I've got which is a children's sweater. And she does have a whole lesson plan on sizing. So I really can't wait to get in touch with that. Anyway, back to
Pompom.
Coat Luku?
Kawati
Liku? I have no idea. Kawati Liku is an Aztec earth goddess. So it's all of the vowels that Kawati Likui. Gorgeous.
Yeah, very pretty. It's crochet, I believe.
Let's see. Crochet.
It's beautiful.
Using mosaic crochet technique. Work in the round from the bottom up.
Yeah.
With a simple contrast trim. It is gorgeous, and
yeah.
I'm not sure that I could even do that, but I do love it. Look at this.
It's very pretty.
It is stunning. And this one is called
it's
the Ardent.
Fun.
I like the sleeves. I like the flounce on the sleeves. I like the color blocking. I don't think it's a sweater for me, but it may be a sweater for you.
It might be.
And obviously, you pick your own colors.
Or go with those. Those are very nice. I just don't look good in yellow.
Right. Nakarak.
I look ill.
This is a lovely shawl.
So beautiful.
It is.
It's so simplistic, but also, it's refined. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very refined.
This was designed to look like it's melting away from the body. She found her inspiration on a beach near home where she found weathered old dock logs. that had melted over time. It's an asymmetrical triangle, and I think it is stunning.
It's just beautiful.
Again, if I was someone who wore shawls, I would make this in a heartbeat. It is a brioche, I believe. We had this discussion earlier.
I don't remember if this one's brioche. I think it's... I know it's garter.
Two-color brioche.
Two-color brioche
Here.
with a garter
Yes.
panel.
Delta. Now, the Delta doesn't send me because all of the design here is at the bottom. And it doesn't have any shaping other than the drawstring. So for me, this is not a sweater I would make, but I could certainly see other people making it and enjoying it a great deal.
It looks like a very good, like...
casual summer top.
Yeah, a workhorse. It
Yes.
looks like very much a workhorse.
And I could see it working even going to work under a suit jacket or something. So it's just not for me. I would put in some kind of waist shaping and then it would be fine. So, with
Is that
any...
one also crocheted?
Let me see. Yes.
Yeah.
Chain and single crochet stitches.
Beautiful.
Here's
The detailing is just lovely.
very pretty. Very, very pretty.
Just lovely. And then this, I do like
The
this.
Sun Wake. I do like this too.
And that's the one that specifically says to add more length to the bottom before you start the chevron if you would like a longer length.
And that chevron just sends me.
It's just
is
so pretty.
Gorgeous.
And they mention that it's a good layering piece. I don't tend to layer my knits over things, but I do understand the aesthetic.
I've got a body top on, so
Yeah.
I layer that kind of thing. Like I will have usually a silk undershirt on under my
Yeah, I'll
sweater.
wear a tank top. I've seen recently a lot of knits, like crop tops or things, styled over dresses. And I had never thought of that. But I also think that's because I typically don't wear dresses that are conducive to it.
Right. I don't either.
But I'm very intrigued by this style, and I'm trying to figure out how to put it into my personal aesthetic.
Wardrobe, yes.
But we will see, because
Because you layer things when you have a skirt on.
Yeah, I layer things. I mean, I have some summer dresses that I could add some of my like winters or like fall sweaters to make a little bit more spring or late winter stuff.
And this is either heliotropic after the heliotrope or heliotropic. I'm not quite sure, but it is a very cute shawl.
Very pretty shawl.
Sunflowers are famously heliotropic in their young form, turning to follow the sun from east to west. So apparently this is supposed to look like sunflowers along the bottom.
That makes sense.
And it really was very pretty. This is another sweater that we found to be really delectable. This is called Filament.
It's color work.
Look at that.
The pictures on the other pages, I think.
Yeah, I will.
Better.
I'm looking to see. It is ultralight blend of merino and cotton. So this is one that they're targeting towards a summer or a warm summer. It does look like it has a little bit of shaping.
Yeah.
But look at that.
The color work is just...
The color work is stunning.
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely.
And I'm getting a dry throat. Anyway, I thought this when I was looking at the patterns in the back. I thought that this was a pot holder. No, it's a purse. And I think it's adorable.
It is really cute.
Now, is this...
It's
knit or
crochet.
It's crochet. It's called Güneş. It's Turkish. The Turkish word for sun. And so she said that the designer said she was so happy making this that anyway,
really
I think
cute.
it was very cute. And for me, I don't need another purse like that, but I could use dish towels like that. Thank you.
Or a tote bag. I mean, not that we need more tote bags in our
Really.
lives.
Not really. I think we need to also work on the pants and the leather next week.
Okay.
If we can.
Yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Kupala. Which I like except for the fringe.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a fringe girl.
I'm not either.
So I think, though, that edging along the bust line really doesn't
little
need...
lace panel?
Yeah, the lace panel. I don't know that it needs the fringe.
But I like it, and I can see it working for... Like, I could see Lauren rocking that.
Oh, yeah.
My cousin. I could see her rocking it.
She would love it.
I'm just not...
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And then this is so pretty. It's a brioche with an eyelet contrast row, and it's just so lovely.
Really is pretty.
Yeah. So, well done, Pompom, this month.
And then they have scrunchies to make.
Scrunchies.
Crocheted scrunchies. So with all of us with our long hair, they are showing you how to make scrunchies to try to keep it under control. Let's see. There's an ad from Bien-Aimé.
All kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. And then the patterns are here in the back, which I marked off. So just tons of fun in this.
Totally.
Tons of fun. So that is a kind of a wrap-up of what's been happening around here. Yes, it's my fault that we are off by a day or less than 24 hours because I was tired. It was one of those things where I had slept for maybe 3.5 hours, woke up at about 3:30 in the morning, and then was just up. And then we did church, and we sang, and then we got on the boat, and I desperately needed about an hour nap, and I couldn't fall asleep. Just couldn't fall asleep. So by the time I fixed dinner, and after dinner, it was just, I'm dead here. So anyway, so we're a day late, but not $1 short. We're okay.
We're okay.
We're okay. Still no COVID here.
Correct.
We wear our masks through the boat club.
Yes.
We don't take them off till we get on the boat.
No. I mean, I wear my mask almost every time I leave my house, except if it's just to take the trash to the trash closet in the hall. If I go further than that, I do.
And I have a mask on when I leave the house in the morning when I go for a walk. I actually met someone on my walk 2 days ago. So
oh, goodness.
I was glad to have my mask.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're doing our best. Hope everybody out there is doing your best and have I'm losing my voice. Have remained healthy.
Yes, remember to keep those wearing those masks. There are, of course, more research coming out showing that it is very effective way to keep you from contracting COVID and you from spreading COVID.
Both important.
Both very important things. Yeah.
That's about
it. There's still a pandemic out there,
It's going to be an interesting year. A very interesting year. I think Richard and I are going to be pretty careful until we can get a vaccine, because, it's one thing if you get it and it's mild, it's a whole other thing if you get it and you end up in the hospital. So, and you don't know. You can't say, excuse me, I'll just take the mild one.
Yeah. I saw on Facebook, a friend had posted something, and then a friend of theirs had commented saying, oh, it's, young, healthy people are fine. And it's like, no one is fine. And another friend who works in the healthcare industry was saying, no, it's dependent on your immune system. And they're saying, and the first poster was like, oh, well, if you're young and healthy, you've got a great immune system. That's not true. You could just be really good at fighting off what we've had so far.
Right.
That doesn't guarantee anything right now. So we're in New York, so masks are probably going to be a requirement for all types of gatherings for the next at least 6 months.
Yeah.
And large gatherings are not going to be held officially, and by that I mean like concerts and sporting events. For the outside public.
Right. Well, and then we just heard over the weekend how several members of the various sports teams that were trying to hold warm-up camps. So some of the basketball players, some of the baseball players, some of the football players have tested positive for COVID. There was...
and then the golf tournament.
The golf people. The guy who was in the lead tested positive for COVID. Did he faint? He did not feel well.
He did not feel well. He then got tested, and then he got very upset by the other people in the town in which the tournament was occurring.
Because the hotel, it wasn't the town, it was the hotel that they were staying at, did not have any spacing in the restaurant. So all the tables were normally set at the regular distances, which, you know, for many it's elbow to elbow, from one table to the next.
Yeah.
So he was very upset about that, the seeming lack of concern. So I know that some of the college football teams have started gathering and they're testing people, and a few have turned up positive and they're having to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. So it is a learning process, and we will all see what happens. Please stay safe. Let's turn in those ends.
Let's weave in those ends, and we'll talk to you next week.
Exactly.
Bye.